Hello, welcome to December 22nd. We are wrapping up the last few days of Flossmas. If you're new here, hello, my name is Geraldine. This is my channel about crafty things, primarily cross stitch, with a little bit of knitting, sometimes quilting thrown in for good measure. I am stitching two different stitch / knit alongs this month. My Evertote holiday countdown sal in collaboration with Roxy Flossco and Jacob of Modern Folk Embroidery. And that with that sal, we're opening a skein of floss every day, getting a little tiny piece of the pattern, so that when we're all done, we will have a completed Frisian band sampler. This morning before I went to work, I recorded my progress from yesterday and also opening today's package. So I'm going to put that in here. Good morning. It is time to open our package for day 22. You can see my stitching is not complete for day 21. Got just a few stitches in here, around here, one in the center here, and then I started this bigger motif over here. So I still have the bird and then the flower that goes inside this box to do. I just had higher priority things, taking care of my puppy after her surgery, and then also we had a haircut. I actually ended up taking her with us last night, and she stayed huddled up in her little bed in on our laps while the other person got their hair cut, because my husband wasn't home to leave her home with before we had to leave. So anyways, it was a pretty late night before I even got the video uploaded. So I think this is good, and I'll have more time today to get caught up. I did put an Instagram poll yesterday to figure out, like, do I frog this motif and move it down where it belongs? It was overwhelmingly leave it as it is, make the rest of the pattern work. Caroline and Jacob both chimed in and said that they thought that I could make it work based on what was coming. So that made me feel a little bit better. Let's open day 22. There's the pattern. And here's the color. Oh, that's fun. So this color is Pine and Dandy, another wonderful Hannah pun. And I think it's showing up a little more green on my camera than I think it is. That looks maybe a little bit better. In person, like, the green variegation isn't quite so green. It's more of like a brownie tan green, but it's got some beautiful variegation in it. It's a fun color. It's kind of like almost like gold but green. Let's check out what we are doing here. Oh, all right. So we are moving away from this band. Whether or not there's more in there coming remains to be seen. We are putting this color as the bottom border here, and then creating another band down here, like a single line band. And then we have some like 9-patch looking snowflake star, whatever you want to call them. If you're a quilter, you can kind of like that general 9-patch shape. And then that color is Polish Chanel. So that is this color here, this pink, I believe. We got Polish Chanel right here. Sorry about the arm. There we go. So Polish Chanel will go along with this color, and then there'll be diamonds between the like 9 patches in our Pine and Dandy color. All right, and the card says, the holidays are a great time to gather with friends and family and play games. If you're in need of some inspiration for games to play, we've got you covered. Carol and I are both going to talk about our favorite games and how to play them. So check our YouTube channels today and maybe you'll learn a fun new game. So games. We play in my husband's family, we play a lot of euchre, a very Michigan Midwest game. So that's like our go-to during the holidays. This year for Christmas, my parents bought us, I believe it's a Canadian toy making company, family-owned business, Mashad Toys, and I don't remember if they're out of Toronto or Montreal area, but I do believe they're out of the east part of Canada, and they make these beautiful giant like wood board games. They make little travel ones too, but we picked a it's basically Sorry, but it's not like the branded Sorry. It's whatever they call it. It's like a marble and dice. So, but the same concept, but it's this beautiful like wood board with marbles, and it came with a deck of cards. So we got that while I was sick, so my husband and my daughter played a game, and she, of course, won. But I think we'll be playing a lot of that over the next little bit here, so we were pretty excited about that. All right. So I did receive the next gnome clue for Imagine Landscapes. It's my other knit along. And if you haven't seen your clue yet, you should stop and do that, because I'm going to be giving things away. So the last piece that we knit, we had knit like the bottom of it like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago now. Did a bunch of other clues, and then we knit a lot of the body. So we are going to be finishing our gnome and that piece today. So it was good that I left it on the DPNs, which is like par for the course for the most part with Sarah's patterns. Like, you do what she says. If she says to cut the yarn, cut the yarn. If she says to put it on waste yarn, I didn't do that, but I knew I was going to like have those needles out of commission for a while. And so we blocked with the needles on, and we're going to finish it today. We have a package from the Loopy U to open. I have an idea of what it is. This is our last package, by the way, package 12. I do have an idea of what it is because of the pattern that I read while I was at work, which is okay. I'm still pretty excited about it. So that is our last thing. So it looks like it's a laser engraved piece of wood, and it has our Gnome Made Gifts was the name of our gnome along, and then the year. So what this is meant to be is actually the outside bottom base of the gnome. So this piece gets sewn with yarn. Sarah, I think, has a video that I haven't watched yet. Before we stuff, we sew this circular base onto the bottom of the gnome. It'll give her some stability, but also then we'll be able to flip it over and have like a memory or a reminder, a label of what it is. What's very unique about this gnome, which is exciting, I think we made 3 hats. So that like weird pouch looking thing that I didn't thread all of, or whatever it's called, tie in all of my extra pieces of yarn from all the color changes. I'm gonna need to turn it inside out and do that, because I'm pretty sure it's one hat. It's a hat, and then there's like the one that's gray and it looks like a tree, and then there's the one that's green that's got like the red squares in it. We made a bunch of tassels. If you add up all the tassels, it would be 1 for the green hat, 1 for the gray Christmas tree looking hat, and then 2 potentially for each little point of that like upside down bag hat looking thing. Because what we're knitting today is the gnome's head. but like gnomes don't have heads, right? Like, but that would be the only way that we would have like an interchangeable hat, would be to have something to put on top of it, to put the hats on top of. So that's what we're knitting today. So we are now going to know a little bit more about the internal anatomy of a gnome. So that's pretty fun, and also something that's brand new for this gnome. She was very specific. I don't know if it was in the instructions or in the little blurb that she put in the email with the link to the instructions. She was really clear, like, not to get ahead, to do what the clue said today, and then be patient and wait. So I think that especially those of us who have knit a few of her gnomes before might assume we know what we're doing and like want to keep going and like finish the gnome. And so I think she's got more coming for us, or she just wants to be sure that we know that we're finishing it how we think, how we finish it, how she intends it to be finished. So we won't be finishing anything today, but we will have a secret gnome head. So yeah, that's pretty exciting. I also wanted to share, I got in the mail today this super adorable bag. So from Evertote, Caroline had extra of the needle minders from the, I think she said she had about 20. I don't know if she still has any left. So these are the needle minders that went with our stitch along. Whoops, I keep doing that. It's upside down. It goes like this. Excuse me. So they don't sell the needle minders alone because of how they need to be packaged and protected in something so that the magnets don't mess up like the postal equipment and things. And so she only sells them with bags. And so to promote their sale, she put a few holiday bags in the shop. And this was one that I had seen recently that someone had from a year or two ago. It is the 12 Days of Christmas. This fabric is super fun, and I didn't appreciate the colors on it online, and then I got it, and like I love like the watercoloriness, like the richness, but also like just the variation in the motifs and the color. It's really fun. So I think that I will probably end up putting Hibernation Day in this holiday bag. And it came with, this is a medium tote with an accessories pouch. I prefer the smaller, the medium totes from Caroline because I stitch in hand, so I don't need like a really big bag to put my Q-snaps in. These will fit a pretty decent size Q-snap as well, but it's just not necessary for. So yeah, I wanted to share this. It's super adorable. I'm excited about it. I primarily make my own bags. I have received a few from Forbidden Fiber Company because they come they come with or as an add-on to some of her packages or boxes that she does. I have ordered a few bags plus of like the Bitty Keeps. Because those are just unique. That is really, other than the Evertote bags, those are I think the only bags I've purchased. Everything else I've made because I feel like because I know how, one, I typically don't want to wait into like for the price of purchasing one, I could very well make my own and then customize it to how I want it. With Caroline's bags, they're just such great quality, and the fabric that she finds is always so adorable. I love them. So I will every once in a while splurge and get a project bag. I did, I got the sorry, I'm looking around because I don't know if I have it to show you. Oh yeah, I do, right here. I did get the, this was one of the ones that she had for this year's holiday, with the nutcrackers on it and then the candy canes. And then it's just got like a fun pink in it. I have my Christmas Eve by Prairie Schooler in it, but my Park Hopper Bart Evertote, this guy right here, was what I had put in it originally. And then when I finished that, I moved on to Christmas Eve. So I have one more work meeting before I am free for 5 days. I just looked outside. I went to work this morning and I came home a little bit early. I've got some like sinus stuff hanging out now that like my cold is going away. And so I needed to come home and take care of that, something that I couldn't do at work, just to kind of get rid of some of the pressure. So I did that, and I'm feeling a little bit better. I'll just have to keep doing some rinsing every few hours until I just want to, the worst thing I can think of is like having a snowstorm. Not the worst thing, but it would not be very fun to be like stuck at home with a snowstorm, have to do a virtual visit for medicine for a sinus infection, try to convince them that I do need antibiotics, and then figure out how to get them in the middle of a snowstorm with a headache and sinus pressure. So I wanted to, and I just don't want to have to do that if I can ward it off. So I've started doing some rinses just to kind of prevent things sitting in there and festering, hopefully, and then I can just hopefully, like, my body will clear it. Moral of that gross story. But it has started snowing here. We were supposed to get rain first, but the latest forecast that I saw, it looked like, I live fairly close to Lake Michigan, and so it looked like we were mostly going to get snow on my side of the state, and like a little bit, maybe 30 or 40 miles inland was when the rain was going to come before it turned to snow. So I don't think we got rain. I think we pretty much just got snow, and it's coming. It's not coming down crazy yet, but it's coming down at a decent clip. It's not just flurrying. So everybody's home and safe and bundled up, and we will see what the evening and tomorrow brings. It's supposed to be the worst tonight, and then into tomorrow, and then start blowing once all the snow falls. So yeah, I hope everyone is well and safe and staying warm, and I will see you back tomorrow. Bye.